So today we are going to be reviewing about some made in African planes, and we are going to be commenting on how these people can make these planes better. And I just hope just hope we try not to laugh, because some of these attempts are very hilarious. I'm not trying to shame these people, but some of them are just off the charts crazy. So let's start.
He dreams of soaring with the birds in an aircraft built with his own two hands. 12 other aircrafts he has built before have all failed to take off.
The engine looks quite a bit underpowered. It looks like a motorcycle engine, and this thing has some serious weight, and the frame looks well over 100 kgs. That guy is not going anywhere.
He hopes things will be different this time, the 13th time. The engines roar to life, and then Upendo is out of his hands and down what passes as a runway.
The suspension also failed him. The momentum was not enough, the suspension was not okay, and even the power unit was not sufficient. So this guy was doomed to fail.
For a few glorious seconds, Upendo is airborne, and then it crashes to the ground. Another dream dashed. 13 is not a lucky number after all.
On this guy's plane, the engine is not even on, but people are still cheering, following him, thinking that he will magically make it fly.
And when the time came, the homemade plane was towered by a car to gain the required speed to take off, but seems to be more obsessed with the ground than the air, failing to take off.
We had our first test flight on 26th of November.
Now this seriously looks like a legit attempt to fly. His plane is well professionally designed, but I'm afraid his engine is still underpowered. And this is the main problem with these planes. Most of the structure is okay, but they underpower the plane. I don't know for what reason, I don't know what calculations they are doing, but they are underpowering the planes. And this is leading to a lot of fatal crashes for these guys.
We tested the speed of the aircraft and it was okay. But we have some little hitches with the engine. So we are seeking for funds, sponsorships from the corporate bodies, government and other institutions who are willing to help come on board so that they help us develop this aircraft.
The 45-year-old used to watch President Hastings land his chopper as a child.
This guy is just hoping to make some form of scrap, and some people just fund him to make a helicopter. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Sparking a lifelong passion for helicopters. After years of planning and watching war movies, he decided to build one of his own.
We had some challenges with the wiring system resulting in short circuits, but slowly everything has been sorted out.
Felix is eager to take to the skies, but he's been warned against taking a test flight before the Civil Aviation Authority's approval. If his first flight is successful, Felix will be flying into the history books with his homemade helicopter and his sky-high ambitions.
They're even actually attempting to fly it within the building. This is so fun, and they are serious about it. They honestly think this is going to change their lives, and this guy has put some serious money into this project. This is another heavy underpowered project. The propellers are not even okay. The rotors are not okay. The wheels are way too heavy for that type of aircraft, and do not even think this thing has avionics. And these people are so committed, they are packing themselves into the vehicle and even closing the door. This thing is not like an airplane, it's like a car. It has an engine, does not need the rotors to move.
Thursday last week, Gabriel Ndarito was confident his twin-seater aircraft was ready for trials, a step that would either elevate him to a pioneer in aircraft manufacturing in Kenya or leave him trying. But he encountered the first challenge at his backyard. The plane would not fit into the truck he had hired to transport it to Kangundo for the trials. But Gabriel and his team did not anticipate the mishap that followed. The plane collapsed. But that did not mean the end of the road. The mechanics did their part to restore it, and the IT specialist turned pilot, who admits has never seen the inside of a cockpit, did his.
Nice. At least the airflow on that thing is correct, but they are adding way too much weight on it and way too much flaps.
The second and third day ended without much success. But by Sunday, the team had done everything in their power to get this plane powered by a Toyota NZD engine and a chloride exide battery to make sure it would fly.
The avionics are quite good. For a primitive plane, the avionics are quite good. Time to fuel it, okay.
Even if we are able to make it 3 feet or 4 feet, we believe we'll have moved a big step.
So in a spirited mood, they gave the aircraft the push they thought it needed to gain momentum for takeoff.
He's so confident, very confident. This thing looks heavy, seriously heavy, even than a normal Cessna.
A crowd had formed, anxious to see a potentially historic moment. But just when it seemed ready to take the leap, it diverted from the runway and collapsed once again. Gabriel was heartbroken, but surprisingly, his spirit was unbroken.
I'll go back to the drawing board and design the landing gear better.
The suspension is done with, and he expected he would land this thing. Imagine, he wanted to land it and the aviation is done with. Where are the regulation authorities on these projects? Because this guy, if he managed to take off, he would have died in this flight.
When you dream big, you have to start somewhere. For Chris and Samba, the founder of the African Space Research Programme, that entails using his back garden to construct Uganda's first jet aircraft, ahead of the planned launch of a satellite into space.
Okay,
Now this looks like a drone, it's not like an aircraft. Whatever it is, I want to learn more.
supposed to at least have a probe in the lower orbit of the Earth, at least in the next 4 to 5 years.
There is still a long way to go. The engine for this prototype is yet to be built. Chris and his team are just putting the finishing touches to a shell.
And they are quite serious about pitching this to the government. They have even put the flag. And wait, this is not a normal plane, it's a plane for a space project. It's the space project for Uganda, not official, but Uganda. And I have no idea how they are going to control it.
And they will have to build a much more robust machine from scratch in order to realise his dreams. But his volunteers appear willing to put their lives in his hands.
As we take this project up, I expect to be one of the participating flying pilots for this project.
So far, the program has received a modest $80,000 or so in private donations, but its prospects have been boosted by an official pledge of support from Uganda's government, which is donating an undisclosed sum.
The President has talked to them on phone, and based on my report, he has agreed to give them some support.
Reaction to the government's backing for the space program from citizens on the streets of the capital, Kampala, has been largely positive.
Right now we have the priorities to be invested in money like construction of roads, construction of hospitals. Even the healthcare is in a very bad state. It's really a good idea, but it needs some time to invest money.
Space research, to me, I think is very important. It's very paramount because, first of all, it will educate our people.
But Chris's ambitions haven't always been viewed favourably. And he admits that even now, people sometimes think he's mad.
When we are done with our work, when we are done with our project, it does that talking on our behalf. So that's not really an issue of being called crazy.
The development of a thick skin leaves Chris confident that he can deal with the many ups and downs that will surely confront him in the years ahead.
Oh, my brothers and sisters, please, before you do anything, please research on it. Don't jump in front of the ball before you understand the ball. These people, what they are doing, they are trying to invent a plane before they learn the essentials and they gather the essential funds to push this project through. It's not that they are stupid, it's that they are greedy. These people, I'm sure they have a serious degree of knowledge, but they are so greedy. They want to make a lot of money using bare minimum resources. And this is what is costing us as Africans this shame. People are making sham cars, sham planes, and I'm not hating on them. I'm just telling them, before you do something, you know there's something at stake, because people will see you and think you are some form of primitive animals, you're not human beings, because of some things they are seeing you do, and it's just hilarious. The plane was invented about over 100 years ago, and somehow we are still attempting to invent a plane. That's why these white people are laughing at us continuously. And I know you white people are watching, it's no offense, but I just have to tell my African brothers and sisters to wake up and stop making these funny projects. I'm not rich myself, but I will not waste $1 doing something I've researched and knowing it will not work. These people, they have researched it and they know mostly this project will not mostly work, but they are hoping to get some attention from the government or some form of agency that will promote them and enable them make the car. And this is simply false, because governments have some serious advisors. They know sham projects and true projects. So I seriously hope people take my advice seriously and they build better projects. Goodbye.
To his judgment, the problem lies in the rear wheels. He says it is clear they can't support the weight of the 800 kg plane.
Mpaka tuhakikisha ya kwamba hiyo miguu itaweza kumundu ile uzito ya hii.
In a month's time, Gabriel expects to be back here for a second trial.
Got quite a bit of reserve willpower, and I think the small hiccups are more so nothing to do with the aerodynamics. They are more so to do with small practicalities like sparking plugs, nothing to do with the aerodynamics.